has taken that time to reset himself.
Let's see if he can get his mental back, as we are into picks and bans. Once again, the Jax ban, no surprises there, followed by the Callista, and of course the Nidalee on the side of Huma. They're going to have to ban that one pretty much every game, being on red side all of this series. The Azir ban comes out. We've still got the same as we've seen from them, but then Giants mix it up and they ban Quinn away.
Well, this is interesting now because that means Giants are leaving the Lulu up, and that is one of their most banned champions. So, I mean, so they're going to pick the Sivir here, you would imagine. That generally has been what they've done.
Yep, but that
they've
leaves
left the Lulu up. So now they leave the opportunity for Godbro to go for the Lulu and then pick up the Lucian with it as well.
Though, they do the same thing on Huma's side as they've been doing the last 2 games, prioritizing the Gragas and the Trundle.
So that Gragas has been locked in. It's just a spectator graphic error that says he's still picking. It is blue side pick and ban now. So we have Sivir locked in, Trundle locked in, Gragas locked in. Nothing different yet. Game 3, and we are 3 for 3 on these 3 picks. All the 3s. Now what do Giants answer with? Because last game they went for the Elise. And at this point they took Elise Poppy. Poppy has been the other consistent one, which I think is fine to run again. I don't think it's been a particularly bad idea.
Okay. Hustlin's locked the Janna. And then, yeah, they take the Poppy right away. So this is more reminiscent of their Game 1 composition.
Yes.
Where they had a very, very strong Australia lane versus HolyPhoenix's Jhin, and they had Kaas on the Trundle. I don't think Huma will go for that style again because of how much it sunk them. But the Lulu is still left up, and they could pick it up on this rotation and have quite a lot of front lane. But the question is, are they going to go for that? Godbro did so well in a carry champion.
But we also have seen Godbro play utility in other aspects. In the regular split, he's played it, and we know that HolyPhoenix, when given that platform to build from, has been good at playing, even later game scaling champions. When you look at the likes of, he played even Tristana. I don't think that's what they should go for. But, Lucian is available. Ezreal is available, should they want it here. They have got the Jhin as well that they've played. So a lot of options.
Ooh, okay, he turns it around. Godbro taking LeBLanc, what PePii was on last game.
Huh.
And
without the Quinn now.
Yeah.
It does leave them without that giant, well, I say giant counter, but the counter in lane that Senkux was talking about. So it is a Lulu going over towards the Giants, should they want it right now. With the Sivir, it's a lot of movement speed.
Yeah. Does cut down a bit on the damage, but it makes it harder for Godbro to get the assassinations off, short of roaming. Curious to see if that's what they end up locking in. I would actually like to see a bit more damage on the Sivir comp, and then, a traditional tank. Well, there's not too many tanks available for the jungle at the moment.
So we did see Lulu come out from PePii in their series against Copenhagen Wolves. It wasn't the best game for them, 0-3-2 overall. Was played alongside the Kindred and the Rammus, I believe it was, at that time. So Giants haven't had the most success with this pick.
Yeah, and they do pick up the Elise once again for Wisdom. So curious to see if this one can work. They do have some damage, they do have a lot of chase, but there really isn't a tank outside of the Poppy. Just the artificial tankiness that Lulu can provide. But there's a reason Lulu's been banned quite a lot as the last rotation goes over to Huma.
Also, we're going to run into a similar problem as the last game for Giants, where it's like, where is your damage going to come from? Against the Gragas, the Trundle, at some point, if you don't have damage on the Sivir, then good luck finding damage elsewhere. Kaas could pick something like an Alistar now and make it almost hell for this Sivir to do anything.
He could go Braum.
He could go Braum. That would be another one.
He actually is hovering it right here. I was actually going to say maybe be cheeky and go Bard again, and there it goes. And oh, okay.
Wow.
I was kidding. But he locks it.
The crystal ball, Pyra.
All right. I got lucky on that one. Sometimes it just happens. I mean, the lane worked really, really well last time. And if they go for standard lanes, even though it's Sivir Janna, they should be able to trade harass effectively, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about how Lucian Braum is such a strong lane. Sivir Janna likes to push a lot, as we saw in Game 1. So now, if it ends up in standard lanes, I still would expect HolyPhoenix and Kaas to do a pretty good job in this setup.
You'd think they would want to. I mean, you look at, they've got the same matchup up top, Werlyb and Smitty, and we know how that one shook out. Godbro versus PePii should be a little bit more even because PePii's not trying to play the kill you game. He's just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And he's on a utility champion, but you said it yourself. You got to wonder where the damage comes from the later this game goes. I feel like Huma got the better of this draft.
Ooh, Yes, I would agree with you for now.
It could always change.
Is a bit of a cop-out. So my gut reaction is that I think Huma have got the better of the draft when you look at least the lane matchups themselves. So yeah, okay, I'm on board with that, Pyro.
Yeah, I convinced you. All right, let's see if I convince you guys at home. Hashtag HMA win if you think Huma's going to win this one and bring the series 2-1 in their favor, or if Giants will answer it right back and be 2-1 in their favor. Hashtag GIA win at LPL Esports is, of course, the place on Twitter to go for that. And Huma, looking to qualify into the LCS, would be the only new team into the summer split. Giants trying to hang on. They're tied up for now. We could have quite a long series on our hands. Giants are no strangers to that one as we load up onto Summoner's Rift for the 3rd time today.
And you have to really look at it. Like, this gauntlet for Giants to maintain their place in the LCS.
It's Cloud9 level, really.
Well, yeah, but that's what I was going to say, is like it's almost the same as the qualification route for the 3rd spot at Worlds. Like, it's that level of intensity where if you are in that first series of the weekend, you've got to keep winning. I mean, you can argue that if Giants had won yesterday, they would already be in, so they don't need to play 3 days, but unfortunately, this is how the chips have landed.
Well, it was so close series yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. That matchup looked to be in Splice's favor quite strongly, but then at the very last minute, in the very last moments of Game 5, it turned in Splice's favor. After being such a close back-and-forth series. Yeah. Giants this time around, you know, they dropped a big game to Huma here, and you got to wonder what that'll do to their confidence as we look like we're settling in for standard lanes.
So, Pyra, there is something I'm not a big fan of in this game. And people are going to
let me.
You'll get it. You'll get it very quickly.
It's the Cull starting for HolyPhoenix.
It's starting Cull. I like Cull as an item. Starting Cull, however, really affects your ability to take trades. You will get the the sustain coming from it, but without the added health, it makes it very difficult. It will be supplemented by the amount of damage that Huma can output, and is HolyPhoenix being greedy once again. This is something that just in general HolyPhoenix likes to do.
But they haven't punished him for it this series.
Exactly, and if it doesn't go punished again, then we may be alright.
There's another difference that HolyPhoenix is running too. He picks up Warlords. We have seen that a bit, but more so on the Sivir, where it's become pretty standard. You've seen SONSTAR run that 3 games in a row now, but typically we've seen the Lucians still run Fervor of Battle, and even last game HolyPhoenix did that, but he switches it up here.
Here in Europe, yeah, that is what we have been seeing. Other regions we have seen otherwise. And seen more of that Bloodlust on basically every AD carry in Korea. So now, bottom lane.
That book.
SONSTAR and Hustlin are basically conceding everything here because they know they're not hitting level 2 before this Lucian.
Oh, and that's why. Look at that trade. HolyPhoenix.
Yeah. And this is why he can afford to go Cull. For now, anyway. Like, this may get punished with further trading, but you have enough damage that you're trading enough effectively outward before taking any inward, if that makes sense. You're not taking damage too much because Sivir just wants to back away.
I think I follow you there. Peppy getting some Glitter Lance action onto Godbro here. Rudy is making moves up to the top side, yet again focusing on this top side of the map as Smitty is pushed up, and he's not going to have too much help. He's slowly lumbering his way, but Smitty takes the quick path and heroically charges into it, burning his flash though, and now the body slam's there. Werlyb is going to flash and go for the chomp. Smitty's got his shield on, and Werlyb just trying not to die here, but Rudy has the damage. No one's coming to help SmittyJ. And he gets body slammed yet again. You got to think he's going down in this one, but who's going to get the kill? Looks like it'll be Rudy.
Yeah, it took a while. SmittyJ was trying to find any angle he could to get back onto Werlyb, but Werlyb knew he just had to, you know, play it safe, play it cool, calm, and collected. Trying to answer on the bottom lane, though. SmittyJ.
Teleport here for Werlyb.
Yeah, from Werlyb.
Oh, Wisdom goes in through the magical journey, and Godbro flashing up. Wisdom is going to flash after the fact, too. Godbro now looking, turns his attention to Peppy, but he gets caught by the cocoon. That's a lot of AoE damage there. Thinking the Fangs in, teleport coming now for SmittyJ, and Godbro is going to try to get out of this one, but he won't be able to do it. No more tricks up his sleeve, and SONSTAR gets the kill to answer back. Magical
Wisdom.
Wisdom following way too deep, and he's stunned, flashing even, and he goes down. A huge mistake.
Never take the journey. Oh, that is Bard. That's playing against a Bard 101. Do not take the enemy Bard journey unless he used his Q right before he went through it himself. Oh, that's so painful to watch at level 3.
It's another crazy game.
What is going on here?
It was a pretty bogus journey, gotta admit. Wisdom is...
Definitely not excellent.
Again, yes, thank you. Wisdom has, yet again, shown to have incredible playability, and at the same time, he's also capable of these really, really dumb decisions.
Oh, I do not
see it again.
No, I don't
there
want
was one good journey here where he's actually getting out-traded by just the Kaas.
I want to see where... Okay, this is fine. This is like if you're through it first, that's okay, because you're not about to get barred queued the other side of it. So this looked like a good start for Huma, but it turns pretty quickly on its head. So Wisdom goes and chases up, kind of thinks twice about it, goes back with Godbro. So when does SmittyJ use his Q? That's what I want. So he doesn't use it before this. You know he's queuing when you get the other side of that journey. There is no way he doesn't queue you, and you knew you were chasing into a second person. That right there, I do not know why Wisdom would make that play.
You got me too.
I got nothing. I got nothing, Pyro.
Let's watch the two junglers once again, because Rudy was trying to get a steal of the Wolf camp on, but Wisdom this time was wise to it. Peppy now still trading effectively on Godbro. He's actually had not too hard of a time, and he's not too far down in CS. Rudy actually taking a lot of answer damage in the Spiderlings. Stopped his stun.
Stopped his stun. Wisdom now gets himself a little bit of respite now in the jungle. Can farm up finally. Kaas picking up some chimes. Usually you'd kind of want to save up a bunch and run up river and try and gank mid. Problem is, it's against a Lulu who not quite level 6, so I guess you maybe had that opening. Godbro doesn't have his ignite, isn't level 6 himself. So
Rudy's still hanging around in the top side. I mean, this is how much they trust HolyPhoenix and Kaas to, if not win their lane, at least trade even. But they also know that Wisdom hasn't really been around either. I mean, both the junglers have kind of left the bot lane on its own for a while. It's been a very quiet bot lane in pretty much all of our matches, even though the bot lane was up top last time.
Yeah, it's been some weird circumstance with bot lane. The one thing that a lot of supports do quite like about 2v2 is at least they get a bunch of experience, so they can start actually having impact on the map earlier. Normally when you're in the 1v2, you end up not really getting to level 6 anytime soon, so it does make it tougher.
Godbro hasn't been able to find the executions onto Peppy, like he was doing quite a lot last game, but still plenty of time on the clock. We're not even 7 minutes in. Warding pressure on either side. So checking back in with HolyPhoenix. He's down in CS versus SONSTAR, mostly because Kaas keeps going on these roaming trips. Still hasn't been punished too much for this cold decision.
Yeah, he hasn't been punished too much, but you can see that HolyPhoenix obviously is dropping fairly low in health. Now needs time to sustain it up. As you said, Kaas hasn't been there in lane with him. Kaas actually running Ignite on this lane as well. It's a little bit more forgiving to run it here. Although you don't have the exhaust to block out a lot of the Sivir damage. Now look at, this is where it's affecting him, that he's got Cull, is like, he can take effectively one less trade to step forward for minions, because it means his actual health pool is 2 autos less than it would be if he had Doran's. This is very nitpicky, but it just means that without Kaas sitting there, he can't step forward all that often.
Yeah, and that's fair. Of course, it's also worth noting SONSTAR and Hustlin with this combo, you know, they were able to win in their first game. Admittedly, it was against that Jhin Trundle, but they were clearly pretty comfortable with that combo. There's the culling.
And they've also been punishing HolyPhoenix as well for his positioning in the lane. And you can see HolyPhoenix now had to utilize the ultimate to push it back out so he could recall and actually spend the gold that he has. Has a lot of gold right now. It's BF sword and I believe 2 longswords he can afford. Yeah, there is a second longsword coming out as well. So HolyPhoenix had to push it out, otherwise he'd take a lot of turret damage. Still will take some. But SONSTAR and Hustlin really were forcing HolyPhoenix to come forward and actually not quite get as much CS as he should be in that lane.
Yeah, despite the discrepancy too, which has now reached to about 10 CS in the bottom lane, as SONSTAR will withdraw. The wave already having to be soaked up by Kaas. Huma still have this lead. It's slim, yeah, and it really doesn't matter. 400 gold in the beginning, okay, sure, it can swing either way. Mostly pretty much off the difference in kills.
Yeah, that pretty much is it. There's a little bit of farm disparity in a bunch of the lanes. Trundle's got a wave and a half up. Mid lane, half a wave. Bottom lane, wave and a half. So there's little bits and pieces.
Well, and this is the comfort level that Werlyb has on Trundle. That, and he's pretty much being babysat by Rudy. And they're just trying to make SmittyJ's life hard, because they know what a xPePii can do. Especially in the hands of SmittyJ.
Is he on a wall?
Yes, he is now. Okay, there we go. Throw down the Tempered Fate. He's gone golden. Godbro around the side. He's stunned up. Wisdom is by the Tempered Fate, or rather by the Cosmic Binding, I should say. And smites away the blue buff. Nothing doing there. from Huma's side.
There was a lot used by Huma, though. They used
like
the Bard ult, they, you know, Godbro tried to come across, but took damage, like missed some farm in the mid lane.
Yeah. And the gold gap's pretty much closed at this point. Really questionable going all in like that and then just giving it up. Wisdom is actually hanging down on this bottom side.
He's on a
dive, but yeah, he's spotted. Godbro going in onto Pepi. There's a quick flash away from the chains. Pepi's having none of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious that Rudy was there as well. Just any time that Godbro goes aggressive like that's post 6. Here comes the teleport.
On the
lane
teleport in. HolyPhoenix way too low. See if they take him down here. It looks like they will. It's SmittyJ who pins him. And Werlyb finished his TP here, and he is caught between the rest of Giants. Wild growth up on Smitty. Werlyb's turned into a munchkin here. Can he get the damage on Wisdom? He might just be able to do it. Yes, there will be an answer back, but it's Kaas who gets the kill. To answer, it's 1 for 2. Kaas trying to get to the safety of his inner turret, but not enough. As SmittyJ and Pepi will take him down. 1 for 3.
And the rest of Huma did not look to collapse on the bottom lane. Rudy does have his ultimate available, but there's too many minions in the wave. If he goes in here, Giants just back away. They get the tower, and then they will run back.
That was the most underwhelming Gragas answer.
And I mean, Rudy was looking to go mid at this point. You can see him still hovering around on the minimap. So here comes the first TP from SmittyJ. This is basically SmittyJ saying, I need this kill, otherwise this is a useless TP. So that's why he goes in here. Wisdom was too low and I believe had used Repel already when he starts taking damage and starts tanking. He actually doesn't tank the tower at all. It's just damage that comes out from Werlyb and Kaas at that point. They got hit by a Thunderlord's proc, I think. And from that, Kaas is like, please don't kill me. Pepi gets the kill and they turn back around for the turret.
If only Rudy had seen Pepi TPing, he actually had the tools to stop that, and maybe would have changed the fight a little bit. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yet again. There we go.
That feels so bad, by the way. When you actually get jammed in there and you're not big enough to move out, you're not small enough to move out, and you're too big to move through.
At least it's only for a couple seconds. Yeah, then you're just like,
feel helpless.
Okay. I guess you can still cast abilities.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're like, come on, I'm not that fat.
Definitely. Werlyb and Rudy trying to defend this tower here, but SONSTAR, Smitty both on it along with Hustlin Beast, and they pin Rudy against the wall. They knock him up and they knock him down, but not before the big barrel comes out. SONSTAR narrowly escaping with his life. They can't quite finish the job, and Werlyb is running between the two of them.
We're running between the two of them, but Werlyb's still full health, like a bit of a kid in a candy store. Decides to end up getting nothing at that point because Giants all backed away. Now they turn their attention to Werlyb, turning their attention onto the tower at the same time. Should be a tower going down for Giants. It will be traded bottom lane though, as Huma took that down, but it's going to be the overall lead going back onto the former LCS team.
And still looking to become, once again, the LCS team here. 12 minutes have elapsed. We've had a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of craziness. Not as much as last game, that's for sure, but Giants seem to be getting the better of these trades, and they grab a little bit extra pieces of the pie along with the Rift Herald. Now they can start looking to push down the remaining outer turret in the mid.
But let's keep in mind, last game Giants had the lead as well. It wasn't a significant lead, but it was a couple of thousand. And you can see Mozart watching on now as his team secures the Rift Herald, looking for that next tower push. Probably looking for mid lane. I want to check who exactly picked that up. SONSTAR picked it up a couple of times in this series. It's actually Wisdom that got that. I didn't quite see it on the main screen.
Speaking of SONSTAR too, it's worth noting that he's been a part of every one of the kills that Giants have picked up this game. You know, the Sivir comp, this is a little bit more back to where they were in game number 1, and they have been able to utilize it effectively.
And this is where a Sivir is like, okay, I actually don't mind that I'm going up against tanks, because I've got 3 kills already. I'm ahead a little bit on farm against my enemy AD carry, so I'm in a good spot. I'm ahead of the curve on damage. If you ever fall behind that curve, very difficult for it to get back.
Like we saw last game.
Yeah.
He was starved for gold, really unable to get a whole lot out of there, and you know, with the Fed Quinn, Huma were really kind of able to push them all around, and they never got those big Sivir old 5-man running use, where we've already seen this game.
I wonder whether SONSTAR is going to go for the Phantom Dancer again, though. You and I have kind of been keeping quietly track of his builds every game. Has opted for that Phantom Dancer on both games of Sivir. Has been obviously a lot for that damage reduction on the target, and with Werlyb playing the likes of Trundle, it is fairly important to keep yourself alive and fight back against a champion like that.
No one defending here.
Yeah, this is a
They
big
are creating
mistake.
turrets. I mean, Smitty was able to knock people away on the top side, and Rudy's actually taking a lot of damage from him in return, but Huma opts to trade an outer for an outer, but still, Giants have more wave to go with only Godbro here to defend. He does go in. Gets some damage on a Hustlin, but look at that shield.
The thing is, it's beyond outer for outer at this point. It's the actual importance of the turrets themselves. Mid towers in general are just more important than any other towers of an equal kind of you know, geography on the map. So mid
all towers are equal.
I am Pyra. I'm actually saying that about mid outer.
There was nothing in that statement, and you looked at me like,
it's fine.
This is a trick.
I was wondering where you were leading me with that one.
Absolutely no way.
So the reason, perhaps for newer viewers that haven't heard this rant before, is that mid tower is the gateway to the enemy jungle. And as soon as you take that down, you now have 2 clear paths through the enemy jungle, especially with the other outers down. Now gives you full control of basically the first half of the enemy jungle. Get wards down, get vision control, and with a team composition like Giants, where they've got the Sivir, they've got you know, the Poppy that wants to go aggressive, having that additional vision control is key to being able to fight consistently and being able to pick the right fights as well.
Absolutely.
Rant over.
Yeah, it's good.
People can be like, yeah, I've heard that rant a million times.
I know that one, but it's always good to remind.
Always going to be new viewers that maybe don't get it. I'm not going to say it every game, though. That would be a waste.
Fair enough. In this game, though, Giants, you know, I wouldn't say they're firmly in control of it, but they're making the right moves, and Huma are falling back a bit. Godbro has not gotten what he needs to. He's not been quite so starved on gold as what we thought SmittyJ was last game. Definitely starved for kills. But SmittyJ's been holding out fine on this Lulu that nobody seemed to really want until later on in the rotations, and Huma have not really found an answer for what Giants are doing with the Sivir comp.
And you've got to wonder, though, when you look at it. I mean, Giants have banned Lulu so many times, and yet they seem to be competent at playing with it. SmittyJ seems to be comfortable.
It was all a trick up to this moment.
Now, what I can understand from that, or at least you know, infer from that, is that they prefer playing other styles with SmittyJ on more, you know, either carry or
ooh,
good knockback.
SmittyJ, yeah. Talk about heroic here, and they've got wisdom coming around the side too. Godbro's on the run.
You're never going to catch that as the Elise. You'd have to flash Cocoon, and then the W would come out.
He's back too. Calling spent by HolyPhoenix, and just Kaas taking his own magical journey across the wall. Uh-oh, this time the flash for flash. Okay, heroic charge. Godbro gets knocked up. He does have his distort available, and he has to mimic it.
Oh, he's come back.
Godbro going for those jukes. SmittyJ still on the chase. The thing is, can Huma get anything for this right now? Everyone from Huma, or everyone from Giants, I should say, are collapsing. Howling Gale is up, and Godbro's pinned against the wall.
Nice.
SmittyJ with the kill.
Q from Hustlin to keep him in position. Now Huma want to push onto mid lane. Problem is, Giants are actually trying to collapse on that, which means their top side. It's bottom side, though, that the real objectives are starting to be taken down by Werlyb.
Yeah, not too many more minions left, though, and Werlyb's going to have to actually back off of that one. Giants are right back to mid, tier 2.
Very tense back and forth, though, between these two teams. Push top, push... Well, you know, Godbro tries to come in top. They push bottom lane at the same time. Now Giants trying to answer with mid. So it's a little bit of a hectic game where Giants are just trying to make sure all their puzzle pieces are in the right place and keep things in check from Huma. Because Giants do have the lead right now. And they are playing fairly confidently. Trying to get a sneaky Rift Herald, one last one before it returns to the void.
As the game so kindly tells us, when you don't take it at about 1955.
The thing is, the number of times I've seen that, and I'm like, ooh, someone killed Rift Herald.
Yeah, like, oh,
Rift
wait.
Herald killed it.
No, the game just told us that Rift Herald went bye-bye.
It's so weird that it gives you like a big notification.
I think I actually have a theory about this.
Okay.
Rift Herald needs attention. Because he was so tilted about not getting it in the beginning of the season that he now just has to tell you when he's leaving. He's like that friend who you like kind of invited to the party, but like you really didn't want to.
But the thing is, that friend doesn't leave. That friend just sits there.
No. That's the other friend. I'm talking about the one that like when he takes the hint, he's like, okay, I'm going, everybody, and then he just kind of like hides behind the door. I got
you have some strange friends, Pyra.
Yeah, that's Rift Herald. Is my point. Anyways, he's gone, so it's okay. Baron's coming back soon. SmittyJ is caught for the moment because Werlyb's looking for a chase down, but look at how Sivir is. And he's got a lot of backup as well, so here comes SONSTAR with that Rift Herald buff. And Huma just don't have enough damage to chase anybody down.
Huma, however, did not do as they did in other games where they would see SmittyJ be out of position and be like, Bot ult, let's go. And use like 1 billion ultimates on him and try and catch him. They actually didn't use anything really on that. So that time, it's okay. They just push him back.
Yeah, still down 3,000 gold at the moment. Rudy, ooh, body slam away. Wisdom damage, and there's that magical journey. Wisdom this time says, wait a minute.
I've seen this before. I know what happens when I go through that.
Don't always want to take the portal.
You know, I wish. So this is pipe dream, but I wish we could do like a Monsters Inc. version of Bard, where like you go through the door.
Hey, that's clever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot
of like a Sully suit on, or
well, it would have to be like similar, but you know, distinctly different.
It's
TV coming in.
SmittyJ comes on in. HolyPhoenix with the quick flash over the wall. Giants trying to get the kill. Smitty going very low actually, but he's way in the back, and too many Giants members there to threaten. Godbro looking for maybe an assassination, and Willie trying for the re-engage. Werlyb puts down the cone. Godbro goes in, goes out, goes back in, and that chain was going way too up in the distance. As Wisdom repels up, Giants still not losing a man. Big wave building topside. Giants have the ability to keep this push going. Huma have to respond sooner or later.
Yeah, sooner or later, but Giants are just going to put... Here comes the teleport, though. Werlyb, now he wants to reply.
Yeah, Rudy's going pretty low in this one. Smitty actually takes him out. Wisdom, look how low he is burning, but he's not gone down just yet. Ignite's still ticking, and that's Godbro with a revenge kill. It's 1 for 1, jungler for jungler. Huma need to answer up top, though, and they've sent Werlyb.
Yeah, they have sent Werlyb, but he's got to run up there. He did use his TP. In fact, Werlyb looks to be going... Thought about going mid for a sec, but then Godbro cuts in, says, oh, I'll take this wave. Now, here we go. Rudy was so low in this fight and tries to go in. Rudy gets bashed, and then it's do you. It goes straight to the death pit right there.
At least Godbro got the ignite off onto Wisdom. He really needs that gold.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Worth it. All right, so Huma answer back with a Drake. It's 1-1 on that one. I mean, we're 20 minutes into this game, 21 and a half minutes into this game, I should say. And the gold lead really hasn't budged much, despite Giants making moves on the map here. But it still seems like they're in control of this game, just with the way they're moving around, how much vision they're able to freely get. I mean, what do Huma really need to do short of getting a quick pickoff?
Not let Giants take Baron. Yeah. SmittyJ.
I don't think Baron's going to let Giants take Baron.
SmittyJ's just like, stupid Baron, stop hitting me.
That's like when you're level 20 and you try for like an epic raid. And you're just like, what? Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. Well, I think at that point though, that was more like SmittyJ just, you know, being a bit frustrated that Baron would be annoyed at him auto-attacking wards in the back of the pit. He's just like, get out of here, Baron.
It's the Iceborne Gauntlet damage.
Yeah.
All right, so Rudy's getting the clear off on. Fortunately, he doesn't hit the AoEs like that. They deny the vision yet again, but Huma have seldom been able to get wards outside of their half of the map this game. It's been difficult for them to creep over into Giants' side of the map because Giants just have been so proactive and so mobile around.
Yeah, it has been, and you look at the impact, though, that Wisdom managed to have in the early game. That is the reason for a lot of that. He was able to get at least retract a lot of Rudy's vision control and his presence on the map. So, here we go, Sivir ult.
On the hunt, magical journey quickly. SONSTAR follows through. Kaas cannot connect the Cosmic Binding. And they're right back to the tower, clearing waves away, but they don't have anything else to push on. And look at Werlyb around the backside. Can they collapse on this one? There's pings flying. They know he's around.
Sivir ult was used, so I mean, there was maybe an opportunity. Also, take note. Wait, Werlyb. Just got to keep track of this. Take note. Hustlin has not yet opted to get the Talisman of Ascension. He's actually upgraded to Frostfang now, so could be going for Frostqueen's claim. Typically, when we've seen Janna and Sivir, it has been kind of that dual movement speed item where you just go running at people and you end up taking them down.
Yeah, I mean, it's true that helps incredibly, but the spooky ghosts also help to land, to land the Poppy heroic charge, slow him down, put him in position. Easier to sink your fangs in if you're Wisdom, or Peppy too. I mean, I feel like it's kind of 50-50 either way in this particular instance.
So it's fairly similar just in concept, is that both end result is that you're going to kill someone, or at least that's your intended result, right? This way, it kind of ensures that you catch someone by them being slower, so you tend to get the damage down rather than the whole team being faster. So it's kind of apples and oranges, but have the same. It's like you want to be healthy, so you just pick fruit.
I was going to say.
I don't.
I know you don't, but I'm glad that you're trying not to
Look, I
that
can
on
see
the
the value of fruit. It just doesn't resonate.
All right, Stress, whatever you say.
Eat fruit, kid.
Yes. All right, so Giants continue to mill around the map here. They just grabbed themselves everything they can throughout their jungle. Huma pretty much doing the same thing. It seems like both teams have kind of agreed not to fight for just a few minutes. After they have been pretty much engaged in a boxing match for most of this series, they've kind of let it sink between rounds just for the moment.
It's like chess boxing. You don't really know what's going on at all times.
I don't know what's going on at all in chess boxing.
Neither do I.
Can you explain that to me?
No, I've watched it and I'm like, I have no idea. There's boxing, there's chess. Seems like it should be straightforward, just like this game, but unfortunately it's not.
No, League of Legends is fairly straightforward. That's my experience.
I was going to say, I meant this game.
But this game especially is a little bit weird as Werlyb gets knocked back. And Godbro going around the side, they might have caught a few members of Giants, but now they have to back away. Tempered Fate not hitting anyone, and Werlyb is actually caught as he turned into a munchkin here. Rudy a little bit too low around the side. xPePii picks him up. And now Wisdom not quite down yet as Smitty knocks 3 in, and Godbro still hanging around before flashing. No magical journeys for him, and it's a 1 for none at the end of the day.
1 for none, but everybody is low from the team of Huma. Now HolyPhoenix has managed to sustain himself up a little bit. Now he's trying to push the wave back out, but Giants have SONSTAR very healthy. Kaas shows himself.
Yeah, SONSTAR though, it's a lot of damage on him, but Godbro does not want to commit and risk getting knocked back in. Inner tower should fall here. It's taken out. HolyPhoenix trying to answer back, but there's just too much tankiness here for Huma to handle, and it's a 5,000 or close to it, 4.5 advantage for Giants.
It's been slow and steady though for Giants to increase this lead over the last few minutes. No real attempts at any big objectives. It's just been looking lane to lane, trying to get any kind of catch that they can and then moving across the map. Now bottom tower is exposed, top tower is still exposed. Both have been exposed actually for a good 10 to 15 minutes here. So Giants haven't really been able to utilize the fact that they got mid tower fairly early. They haven't been able to establish good vision control of the enemy jungle. Yeah,
and as well as Giants have been playing versus Huma in this game, we have to remember the struggles they have had past the 25-minute mark, just in general, even over the course of this tournament where they've gotten so much valuable experience that if they win can take back with them to the LCS. They have been falling apart traditionally in the later stages of games. However, at least in this composition, they should have some serious scaling on their side.
Rudy says, cheers, I got the Krugs.
That's the real battle.
It was a bit of a battle there as SmittyJ was coming up top. Werlyb once again has found space down in the bottom lane to go aggressive. Look to take down that tower. Now Giants, if they don't react to this, they are going to end up losing that tower one push or another. Problem is the game is getting stalled out pretty heavily by Huma.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy a lot of time. The thing is, what are they going to do once they get a lot of that? The LeBLanc, it'll look just like xPePii's in the later stages of the game, and HolyPhoenix. Lucian can have a lot of damage at the end of it all, but it's not going to be the same as, between Sivir, Poppy, Lulu. Yeah, it's hard to kill. Dragon's being started.
SONSTAR has just finished his Infinity Edge as well, so Pyratechnics is in action. Godbro was topside. If there's a fight here, Huma do not have the extra man. Numbers advantage would be in favor of Giants. They take down their second dragon of the game. Huma backed themselves away, was not worth fighting over.
No, they decided not. So we're 28 minutes in. Godbro a little out of position there, and Huma just a little bit out of the game, really. They're not playing to really win. They're just playing to stall it out for the moment, and Giants will continue to just start taking things away from them slowly but surely. Godbro is looking for a pick, but it's hard to do that into 3 Giants.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, Huma have enough disengage tools, or at least slowing tools, that Giants can't always go aggressive. Giants don't feel like they're that far ahead that they can consistently go aggro time and time again. xPePii is just kind of poking out, though. Just a little bit of damage here and there. And there's Lucian with Static Shift clearing mid lane. If ever you needed an idea of what to build on Lucian, Static Shift's pretty good for that exact reason.
Shift is pretty good on Lucian.
It's good.
I mean, use your calling to clear waves.
Luckily, we're in a situation where you actually can go Phantom Dancer, Shift, or Rapid Fire. It actually just depends on what you want.
It's called strategic diversity.
Yeah, meaningful choices.
Yeah, it has been really changed up a lot in recent years, and it's been nice to see this season a lot more choices coming out for the builds of a lot of different popular champions. For HolyPhoenix, You have to think he's a little frustrated with the way this game is played out, just because he's used to having such a high impact, even if he goes down in a lot of fights.
Yeah.
He's kind of been relegated to wave clear duty. You know, it's Wonderwear job, pretty much.
Yeah, no longer Cult.
Although that is changing for Wonderwear, I have to admit, because watching them yesterday was a bit of a different story. He stepped up pretty big on Fiora.
He has actually stepped up pretty well recently. Yeah, he's kind of gone from Khal Drogo to being like, I don't know, one of the.
I'm trying to follow your meta.
Not Dothraki. I've lost it.
All right, let me do the Game of Thrones.
It's fine. You do the Game of Thrones
okay.
ones. I haven't watched any in like the last year. I'm
marathoning them until season 6.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, but well, I'll wait for the time and I'll bring it back in.
See,
so.
I could, like, Marvel I'm on right now. I just marathon Daredevil, so, you know, I could do any of those references.
It's all right. I'll try to set you up for one of those, but I need to watch more Flash first.
That's DC!
I know. But I still like...
I'm out.
I still like DC superheroes.
I'm done.
Where are you going? Get over here. I'm sorry, it's a dirty secret. Now you know. Let's go back to the bottom lane. Werlyb and SmittyJ are going to womp at each other pretty much for the rest of this game, I would imagine. And because SmittyJ's gotten so big, I wonder if this really like changes the Poppy Trundle matchup, because it worked so well for Werlyb last game. This time he's not really able to get too many bites in.
Well, the thing is, they're not really committing to each other either. It's just like a little bit of trading here and there, and then we'll see what the rest of the team is doing on the map, so I'm not going to go all in on you, because I don't really have the vision. You can see how Werlyb just doesn't have the vision control bottom side, so he can't actually push out too far past his turret. It just means that, well, SmittyJ, you can just have this push for now, and I'll just accept the farm.
Yeah. For Huma, they have managed to still keep the gold not too far away.
Yeah.
Just because Giants aren't really grabbing anything else on the map. I mean, at some point, these death timers start to get so high that a Baron dance is pretty much inevitable. And I still think that Giants win that, barring any massive mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, Rudy is caught very quickly. Godbro body blocking. As he sends the chains, they only land onto the Spiderlings.
When you land on the Spiderlings, and Godbro did get chunked, though Rudy did as well. So that means they got to think twice about coming to defend mid-tower here. Ooh, this is a good position for Giants, but look, the wave isn't with them, so Huma actually gets to reset this. Ooh, Hustlin. Don't know what that noise was, but it's whatever happened when Hustlin got chunked. So the fact the wave wasn't there means that Huma readjusts. They now able to clear it out. Werlyb could be caught.
Now, popping on the hunt, just getting away from this one. Werlyb is caught, actually, and he does flash. So he's unfortunately on the wrong side of the team, or the wrong side of the river. But his team now has time to start pushing down this outer mid, which has stood for 32 minutes into the game, so they will get this one. No Dragon available to fight for, but there is a fight that is to be had. Pincering, but it's Kaas who gets pincered himself. Magical Journey to bail away, and SoNSTAR getting knocked left, right, and center now. In goes the Spider, up goes Wisdom, down he goes. It's hard to keep track of what's going on in this fight all over the map, because HolyPhoenix picks Wisdom up, and SmittyJ answers onto Rudy. Both junglers down, and Huma bleeding out here, trying to make their escape. It's a 1-to-1, and best Huma could hope for, being down like this.
Yeah, but look at how tanky Werlyb is right now. SmittyJ still wants to fight, though. Ooh, Pillar
tanky
gets
himself.
The slow, but I think this is going to be the end of this fight here. No Sivir ultimate yet. It's coming up soon, actually. This fight's been so long that they nearly have it a second time. SONSTAR seriously wants to chase here. They can push in mid. Oh, HolyPhoenix.
What is he doing? HolyPhoenix is down. SmittyJ tosses the buckler, and they pick themselves up another kill. This might be Baron.
Problem is, there no smite. Rudy will be up ever so slightly before Wisdom. It's a matter of seconds. So, I don't know, Giants, they're kind of 50-50ing this if they go for it. There are enough members of Huma around that they could look to contest. Spikes.
They hurt.
Yeah. Well, Wisdom's not here.
Just because of Werlyb are.
I don't like this Baron call. Without Wisdom, they could have just pushed mid through. I actually think they could have got at least good damage down onto the tower and then reset. Giants,
they're still committing.
They're going all in on this Baron. Rudy is now here.
This is a 50-50 unless they get the kills off on. They have sunk into Kaas. Oh, he gets interrupted. Can't take the journey. Neither can Werlyb. Finally is able to get through it, but SmittyJ following, and the barrel just knocks him forward into it. Werlyb's going to be left for dead here. It's going to take a while to kill him, as tanky as he is, but SmittyJ with a godlike kill is able to pick him up, and now they're back to it yet again.
Yeah, it's just suis getting picked off early allows Giants now to take control of the Baron. Rudy is still here, no flash available, has his smite. He's 2 levels down on Wisdom.
Peppy, half his health is gone.
To actually get the steal is going to be fairly difficult here without the vision control. There's a ping, there was a sweeper going up as well, but this is taking so long.
It's going low, but not fast enough. Down to 2,000 gold here. Rudy, can he get in? Can he try to make the play? No, he's knocked away by Smitty. Going in for the desperation, but he's taken out. Giants managed to pick him up at the crucial moment, and they grab themselves Baron.
Baron goes over to the Giants. Rudy tried to get in at the last possible second that he could, but there was still 2,000 health left. So this was Kaas dying at the beginning. Nice knockup to stop him from getting in the short magical journey. SmittyJ gets blasted back out of the magical journey and keeps himself alive. But from here, Giants, very split focus.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Take the picture right there. Peppy just sniped the dragon.
Well, Rudy wasn't there, so I guess it was a fairly easy snipe.
Yeah, I suppose. Still.
No, I just mean that in general, like that, Huma going for a dragon when they have no jungler available. Was that Werlyb trying to solo it?
Yeah, I think we had 3 on, but Godbro was too low. And the moment he leaves, the clear lands Peppy. Yay, yay.
Wow, nearly got it. HolyPhoenix nearly had that, thought he was safe with the autos. He wasn't safe.
No, but he's managed to grab his team 3rd dragon now. And the gold lead's starting to spiral out of control here. Huma are in full tailspin in game number 3, trying to hang on. It has been slow, it has been a bit lethargic, but Giants have woken up. And they're lurching forward to try and finish this game. Nearly take out that tower, a lot of damage. The Baron empowered minions are still crawling, and they get it.
They're just waiting on the fight.
There it goes, SmittyJ knocking Kaas in, and he just can't take his journey at all. Inhibitor's gonna fall when Giants want it, whenever they want it. Rudy now stunned up and pinned against the wall as he throws the barrel, tries to dash towards his own tower, but that's taken out, and so is he. Inhibitor in the bottom's gonna be taken, and Giants turning up the heat. Will be able to turn this game in their favor here, barring a massive comeback from Huma. Big knockups, Godbro being chased away from his own base. HolyPhoenix trying to do what he can in the back, but Hustlin ain't going down anytime soon, and Godbro getting 1 kill onto Wisdom and Answer. Nexus turrets are falling. That's the last one. All they need to do is turn their attention to make this a 2-1. Pull themselves within 1 game of requalification for the LCS. Giants have done it.
1 game remains for the Giants, and the last few minutes of that game, everything came up in their favor. They managed to get a pick or 2, get themselves the Baron, get a blind steal on the dragon. There was no vision for Peppy on that glitter lance over the wall, and then end up taking the base. Fairly simple, big change up for Giants in what they picked when it comes to their middle lane, but it worked very well.
And Godbro, that man on your screen, fell into the same trap that Peppy did the previous game. Picked up the LeBLanc, ended up 2-2-1. Not a terrible score, but you're relying on snowballing forward, and it's just such a binary strat that if it's shut down, picking that Lulu proved to be his undoing.
Yeah, the problem was he just had nobody really to snowball off. I mean, SONSTAR didn't die, Peppy didn't die, Wisdom died a lot. But
yeah, but not to Godbro.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of kills went to Godbro, but that was about it. He didn't have that continuous momentum that you kind of need on a LeBLanc. If you get a couple of kills early, you tend to be okay. But he just didn't really end up getting that. It wasn't all on Godbro. Honestly, Huma's early game just was a little shaky in this 3rd game of the series, and they couldn't really contend with Giants head-to-head. They were slowing Giants down fairly effectively, but slowing down is not quite enough.
Unfortunately, no. So now Giants are just 1 win away from claiming that last seat in the LCS Summer Split. Don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with a look at Match Point.